Here at Rock Island Auction Company in our May 2nd through 4th premiere auction, we have an incredible selection of machine guns. This is going to be the largest machine gun auction ever in history. And right in front of me, I have one of a small sampling of what's in this auction, but an incredibly important one. This is serial number 91 Thompson Model 1921 machine gun in front of me. This is the only two-digit serialized Thompson Model 1921 in memory that we have sold here at Rock Island Auction Company. And being serial number 91, manufactured in the year 1921, this is considered to be the 51st production Thompson 1921. So there were believed to be, according to some sources, approximately the first 40 prototype Thompsons made in a variety of configurations, and then serial numbering is believed to have commenced at about serial number 41, making this serial 91 the 51st gun. These early Thompsons, this one in particular, has a very special story. Not only is this gun not only is it significant in being an early Thompson machine gun, but this gun has history to go along with it. This was shipped 4 months prior to what is known as the Battle of Blair Mountain in Logan County, West Virginia. And this gun was shipped to Logan Hardware and Supply in Logan County, West Virginia, and subsequently forwarded to the Main Island Creek Coal Company, care of Will Gore. So William Gore was a deputy under a guy named Don Chaffin, who was a sheriff of Logan County. And we'll get to that. That name will become important in a minute. But this gun being shipped there at that time is significant 4 months prior to this incident, which happened also in Logan County. That incident is so significant in itself because this was the largest armed uprising since the American Civil War. So this Battle of Blair Mountain in August through the beginning of September in 1921 involved approximately 10,000 coal mine workers, Union coal mine workers, that had an uprising due to long frustration and tensions with the coal mining companies who basically ran the town and exploited the workers. There was so much bad happening to these people that it led to the point of them all gathering together with a wide variety of guns and deciding we're going to fight the system. And where this gun falls in play is that this would have been used on the side defending Logan County. So since the coal mine companies basically ran the county, they had these guns ordered for defense. And basically some of these were used in the hands of Baldwin Felts Detective Agency, who was hired by the coal mine companies to go basically bust doors down and kick people out of their homes. So the coal mine companies owned the homes of these workers that worked for them. And when they figured out that some of these people were unionizing and trying to go against them, they kicked them out of their house with force. So these people would knock on their door with Thompsons like this and say, "Get out, you're done." So these people were basically living out of shanty towns and tents. So you can see why there was so much frustration and why there was such a buildup and why it got to this point. As part of the catalyst to what set this battle in motion was about a year prior in 1920, Baldwin Felts detective agents came into Metawan, West Virginia, in bordering Mingo County, right next to Logan County. And they were kicking people out of their houses. They had warrants, and they even had a warrant for the pro-union police chief, Sid Hatfield. And Sid Hatfield and the mayor were confronted of Metawan. The mayor of Metawan was confronted, and Baldwin Felts detective agent Albert Felts, when confronted by the mayor and the sheriff, ended up shooting the mayor. Or that's one version of how the story goes. There's a few versions of this story, but it's said that Albert Felts shot the mayor, Sid Hatfield shot Albert Felts, and then a firefight ensued, and 7 Baldwin Felts detective agents were killed, including Albert Felts' brothers, and then a few coal miners were killed in the crossfire. So this incident sparked a lot of controversy, and Sid Hatfield was indicted for murder charges afterwards, and a year later, on August 1st, he was shot on the court steps by Baldwin Felts agency detectives. And that caused a lot of ruckus with the unions because he was pro-union, and they took him out for standing up against the Baldwin Felts agents. And so that month, August 25th, 1921, all hell broke loose. And the coal miners gathered all their guns, all their people, and they dug in on that mountain. They were carrying stuff like Winchester lever actions. They had muzzle-loading rifles. They even had Gatling guns, Browning machine guns, and Thompson Model 1921s like this one. And so this gun being shipped to the attention of William Gore is significant because William Gore was a deputy under Donald Chaffin, the sheriff of Logan County. And when the battle broke out, Don Chaffin, the sheriff, got together a massive force of law enforcement, Baldwin Felts Detective Agency agents, state militia, and they all showed up to defend Logan County. It was about 3,000 of them, and there were about over 10,000 coal miners that built fortresses and barricades on top of Blair Mountain. It was basically a 10-mile stretch of barricades, and these law enforcement at the bottom of the hill, some of them were carrying some of the earliest Thompsons, such as one like this. This is a very good candidate to have been there because this would have been in high demand as a coal mine company shipped gun, and this would have likely been in the hands of what was called the Logan County Defenders, one of the few thousand that were guarding from the bottom of the mountain. During the Battle of Blair Mountain, the coal mine companies even went as far as to hire private planes to drop bombs on the fighting coal miners. They dropped poison gas, leftover bombs from World War I, and some homemade bombs. After about 1 million rounds had been fired, federal troops were called in. About 27,000 federal troops showed up, and they essentially ended hostilities on September 2nd, 1921. And part of the reason is most of the coal miners would not fire on federal troops because they themselves were former World War I veterans. This gun just has it all going on. It has so much character as an early example, and yet it even has a little bit of patina you can see on the side, like what somebody would want to see in a gun that was likely there. It's still in its original Model 1921 configuration. It's just such a beautiful gun. It has all the bells and whistles. If somebody were to own one Thompson Model 1921, this one would very well fit that bill because this gun is significant as an early American machine gun, an early American Thompson Model 1921 that was around Logan County in a very significant time, and it stayed in the coal company's possession all the way through pretty much later into the 1900s. This gun ended up in Jenkins, Kentucky, still in the coal company's possession. It ended up with Consolidation Coal Company, which absorbed Main Island Creek. So this thing would have been through quite possibly a couple other incidents since then because the coal wars were a long stretching ordeal. They started essentially in the 1890s and went through 1930 between the Union coal miners and the companies. So these guns were in high demand once they came around to be able to guard the coal mines. And this one in front of me is going to be for sale in our May premiere auction. If you would like a chance to own this, I strongly urge you to show up to our May premiere sale. Our preview day is May 1st. You can come look at this, you can hold it, along with over 100 machine guns in this gigantic machine gun sale, let alone all of the other collectible items in this sale. This sale is going to be insane. But if you'd like to come see this, May 1st is our premiere. May 2nd through 4th is the official auction. I will be there. You can come see me and I'll show you around. See you there.